You know, it is a new year, and you might have some of your own goals and aspirations. And you know what? If anybody ever says this to me one more time this year, it's really time to take time for you. Well, you know what? They're right. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and I think you could do the same thing as well. So here's what I've done. I'm going to show you how to create a me journal or a book of inspiration, whatever you want to call it. I'm just calling it a me journal because really this is mine. This is about me. It's personal and it's private. Susan brought in hers. She has her own journal that she keeps and she writes things down in. I'm not looking inside of it, I promise. But you can create the same thing, and it's so simple to do. So I'm going to kind of give you some ideas and some tools and some tips on how you can do that. First of all, you're going to start by getting a book. Now, if you aren't a real crafty person, or if you are a real crafty person, you know, you can buy these hardbound pieces at the craft store, and you just take this simply apart and then use these little rings. And here you just decorate the book. You create your own pages, do whatever you like. If you don't have a lot of supplies, then you know what? You can simply pick up a spiral bound book like this, and then all I did is I decorated the outside, the rings here, with all different kinds of yarn. And then I went in, and on each page, I added some papers, some stamps, some little embellishments, and left room for me to write and journal. And what I love about it, it's small enough to fit in my purse. And this is another one that you can make, and I just, you know what, I just put a little sticky pad on the inside. But it's a little book, a little cover that you make to cover something, just throw it in your purse. But some good tools to have that will really go a long way, you know, is a paper cutter. If you don't have a paper cutter, scissors work fine. You're gonna need some adhesives. Glue works just fine if you don't have an adhesive runner like this. Maybe some ribbons, some embellishments, some rubber stamps. These are all ideas that you can use in order to embellish your book. I have this book, Words of Encouragement, and I took out some of my favorite passages and put it in my book. And something else to really help you get going if you know you don't have a lot of stuff is you can pick up books like this, and they have all the papers and everything inside, even the matching embellishments, so that you know all the papers inside this book, they're all going to match. Everything coordinates together. If you don't want to get a book, then you can just pick up all these other little pieces just like this. Know that when you stick with a line, for example, this line happens to be called flutter. If you stick with flutter, you know that all of the embellishments, all of the papers that you buy are all going to match, and they're all going to be coordinated. So let me go back over here. I'm going to show you, just give you a little peek inside the Me Journal. And this is a hard-bound book that I used. And I just painted the outside of it and then added some papers to it. But on the inside, you can make it as fun or as funky as you want, adding a little bling. This is actually something from a fortune cookie. I'm not kidding you. I've had this probably for 25 years. And it's a little saying, you can hardly even read it anymore, but it's just resonated with me. Some of my favorite sayings: you can add ribbons, you could add embellishments, you can add anything that you think is important to you. And if you make it so that if you don't keep it in your purse, but it's something pretty that you can set maybe at your desk at home or by your bed, then you will absolutely love it. And look at this one right here. I just started making this one, Susan, and it's just that simple one, and I went ahead and took all the papers on the inside and just, you know, added just pretty little things just to make it pretty.
It's
absolutely
And if
it's pretty,
beautiful,
then you'll use it.
Right.
And, you know, just write things that are important to you.
Well, I love it. I love it. And I have kept my journal for a long time, but I haven't made that personal connection with it yet. So I'm going to take these tips and make it special.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Special day, because it's all about you, sisters.